really talking about this box office because it's in the second weekend and nobody really knew how it was going to pan out. You know, Black Widow made 80 million the first weekend, but it had a steep drop at 70 million. No, 70%, excuse me. But then Shang-Chi came out and made 71.5 3-day, 90.4 over the 4-day Labor Day weekend. But now we have the numbers for the second weekend. And I have the report right here from Variety. It says box office Shang-Chi triumphs again in second weekend, but Malignant misfires. And I just want to let you guys know that if you're watching this via live or on the replay, there is a link down to this article down in the description box below. But I have the report right here. Marvel Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings ruled domestic box office again, collecting 35.8 million in its second weekend in theaters. Ticket sales for the superhero movie led by Simu Liu and Awkwafina fell 53% from its debut, a decline on par, with many Marvel installments in pre-pandemic times. Notably, Shang-Chi is holding better than Black Widow, the studio's recent comic book adaptation starring Scarlett Johansson, which plummeted nearly 70% in its sophomore outing. Black Widow opened early in the summer simultaneously on Disney Plus for an extra $30, while Shang-Chi is playing only in cinemas. And right now, it is clear $257 million worldwide. Elliot, how you feeling about this? Is this good news, bad news, or no news at all? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel, Disney, Kevin Feige, and the rest of the crew, Sony included, thank Shang-Chi for what it did the last 2 weeks. Because if that film wouldn't have performed the way it did, Venom would have been coming out next year or maybe never. The Eternals would have been coming to Disney Plus and in theaters. Spider-Man No Way Home maybe would have been delayed. So I'm so glad that Shang-Chi kicked some serious ass at the box office these last 2 weeks and continue to do some big numbers. And that doesn't even include, China's box office, which I know that film might not even make it to China, unfortunately. But yeah, man, Shang-Chi saved a lot of films in regards to theatrical releases the rest of this year, and it deserves it, man. It's a really cool film. We've been talking about it for weeks, and as far as our pros and cons, but I'm excited for what this franchise was able to do and introduce this character in such a big way. So shout out to Shang-Chi, man. And again, Sony, you better be sending them some thank you cards, and because it saved Spider-Man from being delayed, and it helped Venom get pushed up by a couple weeks. So shout out to Shang-Chi.
Right on, Lamont. How you feeling about all this, man?
Sony is not going to send them a $40 super chat. I can just tell you that right now. But I'm happy it's doing well. Yeah. But I expected this to do well after I seen it. I expected it to do better than Black Widow because there's more in here to continue where Marvel is going, whereas Black Widow has nothing to continue where Marvel is going. So when people like me and some other YouTubers made videos about this thing, we talked about where it's going to go in the future. We got people engaged. We got them thinking, okay, there's parts of this movie that lead to this. There's part that leads to this. Yeah. And overall, the movie was just better than Black Widow. I mean, I'm sorry, it was just better. So I expected this thing to be the leader in the second week, and I'm happy that it's doing what it's doing because we've been disappointed by movies this year, and this one kind of got you saying, okay, Marvel, I'm feeling like we're back and we're moving on to the next phase.
Right on. Also, just goes to show, like, we're gonna see, man, because this has not opened in China yet. It doesn't have a release date yet, which is really bad. It's been received well by critics and fans, so that's great. Right now, it's kind of even just hard to say okay because I still want to compare things to pre-pandemic, but. They say that let's go down here. The second weekend, so 75 for the 3-day, 94 for the 4-day, and then 35 for part 2, weekend 2. I hate that, like, unless I don't know what I'm doing. I hate the new box office mojo, but
it's trash, dude.
I
think Sony's running it.
Yeah. Bro,
really? Sony's running?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I was
like Lamont, the box office mojo used to be so good, fire, so informational. Bro. They gave you so many different breakdowns and comparison charts, but I guess you got to pay for it now. When I'm looking at Black Widow, I can't even see what the second weekend was.
You blame it on Brandon, blame it on Bob Chapek, man.
Yeah, man. But Yeah, it is all of his fault. Screw him. But it's being received well. It's just I'm really interested in seeing. Of course, we all want to know what the whole theatrical run is going to be. But what is China going to do? What is the rest of the world going to do? Because it may not get a release date because some comments that he made a couple of years ago have resurfaced, and they're pretty strict with that stuff over there. So you know, we're just going to have to see. But I think we're all happy that Shang-Chi you know, has had a good second weekend at the box office, and so that's just dope right there.
Yep.
But last thing of the day, one of the things I was really excited to talk about, and me and Elliot have talked about this in length, so it's kind of all on you, Lamont. And OneTakeBigDog was going to be here, but he's messaging. The stream y'all blocked his mic.
What?
They sent me a print screen talking about the browser has blocked your mic and camera, and so
what in the world?
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think OneTake will be able to join us, but that's unfortunate because I really wanted to know what you guys thought about Shang-Chi. And so spoil it away, Lamont. You can talk about whatever you want. I just kind of want to hear your thoughts, my brother. You know, did you like the movie? Oh yeah, you just said you liked the movie, but go ahead. I like compare it to more. Now I already know that you liked him. You like Black Panther more. Just tell us how you felt about the movie overall and compare it to other Marvel films. Also, I want to hear about your criticisms, if any at all, and I'm gonna kind of compare that to mine and see where we land, if you don't mind. So take it away, sir. Take it away.
In some of the story arcs, I did compare it to Black Panther. You've got the dynamic with the family. You've got someone who has an item of power.
I'm sorry, Lamont. One second.
Go ahead.
People in the chat at this time, we will be discussing spoilers for Shang-Chi. So if you haven't seen it, you know, I strongly suggest you part ways with us unless you don't care to be spoiled. So I just want to let you know that right now. But go ahead, Lamont. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I felt like they was in line with everything Marvel likes to do. You had comedy. I really enjoyed the hand-to-hand fighting that they did in this thing. I enjoyed the subtleties with having a good lead Asian actor with a secondary actor who was funny as hell. I enjoyed the mystique of the 10 Rings. I enjoy B. Avery. If I'm not mistaken, you didn't really care for one of the two antagonists of the show, and I kind of felt like that part was okay to me. You know, the dad and his desires. When you figured out that he's being manipulated, it kind of made it different for me. Now, if it was just that the dad wasn't being manipulated, I would have had a big problem more so with the movie. But it was kind of hard for me to compare it to anything else but Black Panther. But I did like Black Panther better. And I really, really dug the setup that they did to let us know that in the future, that this thing could lead us to a very, very powerful entity. Some are saying Galactus. That could possibly happen. We're talking maybe some of the Eternals. I enjoyed this movie overall and the setup that it's got us going when it comes to Marvel going forward.
I got you. Let me. My thing about the dad being manipulated is that makes sense on paper. I just wasn't a fan of the execution. I don't think they dove into that too much. He just kind of said it on a whim in passing. Like, yeah, you know, the rings are talking to me saying that your mom is behind the wall over here. I just kind of wish they would have drawn it out, like show him in his room looking at walls and ghosts or shadows are popping by and he's hearing noises and he's hearing voices in his head like, what is that? And you can hear his wife like, baby, I'm here, come get me. And he tripping and sweating and stuff like, what the hell? Of course I'm gonna come save you. You know what I'm saying? That would have been more impactful to me. But he was just like, just randomly, he just dropped the line. Yeah, my baby locked up behind the wall. We got to go get her. And if they don't, we're gonna burn the thing down. I was like, what? That don't really seem earned. But that's just me, you know. But if it didn't really bother you, all good. Were you really thrilled with all of, like the martial arts though? Like, did you like all of that?
I like most of it. Now that scene where they was hanging off the side of the skyscraper, I chuckled at that part. But I did like most of it. I'll say that much. Now, did I think it was the best that I've seen? Absolutely not. Like we said earlier, the Captain America and the Civil War, that was some of the best hand-to-hand combat and stuff that I feel like we've seen in the MCU. But I did like what they did in this story, so I will leave it at that. I did like some of the stuff they done in this movie, and I thought it was refreshing to feel like Marvel is back to leading us to other things that are going to happen in the MCU. That was the biggest takeaway for me, and I think I even jokingly said that mid-credit scene was as good to me as the whole movie. Now that was partly a joke and partly true.
Who do you think that beacon is calling? You said Galactus or the Eternal or something. Who you think? I have no clue myself.
So if you start thinking about all the gods and all that, and do you remember Ego was a living god that planted himself into planets? Mm-hmm. You could easily go down that same story and think that these rings was put here to have Galactus come whenever these beings put themselves into planets that eventually grow up and explode and kill all the people on it. So I do think that this is going to harken back to Galactus tech, something dealing with Galactus. This was the very beginning of us seeing a story dealing with Galactus. That's what I think.
I got you. How did you feel about the Abomination and Wong scene?
Because I know they're getting ready to do a story that is going to involve Abomination being, I'm not even going to say good, but an anti-villain. At first, I had problems with it because Abomination is never a good guy. And him joking and laughing and having fun with one, I'm just like, man, stop it. But I know where they're trying to go with this story. They're going to do a Thunderbolt Raw story, and I think Abomination is probably going to be a part of the team. So on the strength of that, I let that part go, and I felt like, okay, maybe this is why him and Juan are chatting it up after the fight happened, because if that would have been Hulk and he punched himself because of Juan, Hulk was not going to be sitting there trying to be friends with Juan. I don't care how the situation shape up. He was going to be after Juan behind. But I was able to find comfort knowing that they probably did that to let us know that the Thunderbolts are going to have Abomination on the team too.
I got you. Elliot, have you seen this more than once?
No, just this the one time. I haven't got a chance to revisit it yet. Yeah.
You got any different? Because the time we talked about it, I only seen it at one time.
Yeah.
But now I've seen it twice, and I did like it better the second time around.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people said that. Yeah.
But I'm still like you. This was a good movie. I might even say a great movie, but it just wasn't the martial arts movie that I wanted. Not even close, to be honest with you. I don't want to say not even close. It just wasn't. A lot of missed opportunities. Do you have anything you want to we talked about it a lot, so you may be exhausted, but
no, man. We love talking Marvel, man. And even though I've only seen it once, I always still think about, they could have did this better, or that was actually good. I still do think to the point that you mentioned about Wenwu and his whole manipulations thing, that storyline's been played out so many times in regards to it. And someone even mentioned in the chat, I mean, the man's been around for thousands of years, and just to he hasn't come across any type of wisdom in regards to not even thinking that it wasn't fake and just assuming, this is my wife, I'll go ahead and do this, which might explain the strength and the evil nature of the rings of manipulation or what have you, which I think they're going to explore that in the future. But I'm still a little bit in my feelings about that third act, man. I really do think there was a missed opportunity to not only have more hand-to-hand combat. I mean, we got some of that, but it was more rings on rings action. It was just kind of, as we mentioned, the big CGI fest, which looked beautiful. But I just wish it was more grounded. And we talked about it. It would have been, to me, it would have been more emotionally satisfying to see Wenwu versus Shang-Chi versus his sister, like a very Civil War, more personalized, hand-to-hand, more brutal fight versus, again, the rings and the dragons and the arrows and the soul-sucking monsters. To me, they could have had a little bit more of a personal fight, more personal stakes than the CGI mess that we got. And also just Wenwu not having that moment to be like, I was wrong, and then give his son the rings, or even I don't know why there was no dialogue between the sister and the dad at all the entire movie. There was so much animosity between those two characters. There was so much vengeance that she had for her dad, being left out, being forgotten about. And she didn't have one scene with him in regards to, I am better than what you think I am, Dad. I am my own person. So I still think there was some missed opportunities in regards to the emotional beats within the film.
Right on. And when you say more grounded, the martial arts, do you mean more grounded like this?
Yes.
I had to do it, man.
Had to, man. How badass would it have been if Winwood would have been like, you know what, son, I don't need these damn rings to beat your ass. Like if he would have took the rings off and went hand to hand, that would have been dope, man. But
yeah, bro, I was thinking the exact same thing yesterday because he did the little Kamehameha Hadouken charge up and he threw them down. And then that would because that's like you could have gave us both. You could have gave us martial arts with all the powers and just no powers, just straight up boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Be Avery. It's like Iron Man said about Thor. He loves his hammer. This man loved his rings. He only took those rings off for his wife,
right,
and his baby mama. That was it. I kind of agree. Like I said, I didn't think this was their best martial arts scene at all. But I do you guys think that they paid off the sister not getting a lot of dialogue with the dad by basically she took the last credit, she took over that kingdom when she's supposed to have been destroying it.
Yeah.
And that she's basically raising more Black Widows. Only difference is it's going to be their version of that.
Yes and no. The reason why I say no is because she'll never have the conversation with her dad now. You know, because he died, and I agree with Elliot on that. I don't like when they kill villains, or at least not in the first film.
Yeah,
like,
really?
They killed him. They killed not Killmonger, but Claw. They killed Crossbones. They killed Crimson Dynamo. They killed Ironmonger. I mean, he can die, but just like stop killing people. Kill them in the third or fourth time popping up, not the first or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Avery, we're in the multiverse now. Nobody's really dead.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
There's another Winwood out there somewhere.
Yeah, nobody's really dead. She might get a chance to talk to her doctor. Talk to her daddy again.
How did you feel about Trevor? Ben Kingsley.
Gosh.
No thought, no comment.
All right on.
That's how I felt.
Okay. This guy right here, you like him?
Razor fist.
Man, no, man.
I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
I like that bus scene, but other than that, what was there was nothing to like about this dude. He was just another dude swinging another ass. Nothing about, and the way he changed so quickly. Like that, nah, dude. He ain't do nothing for me. He ain't do nothing for me.
I got you. Well, guys, I mean, I could sit here and play more kung fu clips for y'all, but I ain't gonna do that. I kind of want to. I would if I was here by myself. I'm working on everything they do. Yeah.
Well, I do have one more question for you, Brandon.
What's up?
When will we see Shang-Chi again? Besides his own solo album, do you guys think we'll see him by the end of this year in a Spider-Man or an Eternals, or are we looking at something in the future, a Blade cameo or something of that nature? What do you think we're gonna see this character again?
I hope we don't see him in any of those.
We're not.
I hope not. I think that would be too convoluted and unnecessary. God, I would vomit if I saw him as Spider-Man.
Really? Him training Spider-Man like in the comics? Like a post-credit scene?
Not in the next movie. That is too big of a leap to I mean, we don't know the timeline per se, but I'm not looking for, of course, do I want to see Shang-Chi and Spider-Man team up? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you serious? That would be super badass, but not right
MCU Tom Holland needs some help. I don't think he's throwing a punch in the MCU.
Yeah, that is true. He does get assistance by everybody. I do want to see Spider-Man do some things on his own. I mean, I know he's teamed up with all, I mean, of course, but I want to see Spider-Man do stuff on his own or whatever. And so I'm okay. So but I don't know, man, when we're gonna see him. What about you, Lamont? What about you?
We probably see him in the very first film that they have where our boy Anthony Mackie playing Captain America. That'll probably be the next time we see him.
Ooh.
Right on.
Because
he needs all the help in the world.
No. That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that those stories have had some crossover in the comics. Yeah. But then again, he might need a little bit of help. But that's when I can see a crossover coming back.
Eman said Shang-Chi needs to train Falcon too.
Yeah.
Man is all wings and no hands. He
man,
does get whooped.
Hey man,
he got that shield.
Ant-Man gave him those hands. Crossbones gave him those hands. I mean, who else gave? Spider-Man gave him the hands, even though he didn't have hands. I mean, listen, Falcon needs some help, man. I mean, no respect, Sam, but you need some help in the fighting department, man.
Real quick, Zia, when will you be doing the DVD collection, Brandon? We need it. Will it be live? I need to mark my calendar. It will be soon. I'm gonna try within the next month at the latest.
Nice.
My dad was like, "Don't do it live, Brandon. It needs to be recorded. That needs to be organized." I was like, "What? We'll see." Let me see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Shang-Chi.
Quick thoughts on the Matrix, man. What you guys think about the Matrix trailer this week? Are you guys more excited, less excited? I
didn't get a chance to. I tried to react to it, and my system was shutting down.
Gotcha. The Matrix shut down.
I just had to stop it, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it later. I want to react to it, so I'm just having a lot of technical difficulties, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So, what did you think?
I haven't seen it, Elliot. I've heard about it, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
What did you think?
It looks cool. It just doesn't look like a Matrix film to me quite yet. I haven't really gotten the complete vibes of the original Matrix films. It looks like it's kind of rehashing a lot of the first Matrix. Yaya being in the mix is definitely interesting, but I'm kind of in between on it. I'm not superly overhyped as a lot of people are, but I'm also not like completely trashing and throwing it out of existence. But I'm intrigued. Has my interest.
I got
seeing John Wick Neo.
I was watching John Wick 3 this morning.